as I said, from HIV, AIDS, STD, and just to have a strong sense of pride and responsibility that makes a difference in our lives. You know, at the end of the day, you know, what makes a difference, Shannon was talking earlier during our DYC session and talked about how it is important to be your own CEO. So that means you need to own yourself, run your own, you are your company. You know, our youth represent themselves, and you need to own that. And how do you brand yourself? How do you become the best that you can be? So what we're going to do is just get into some dialogue. We want everybody's input to talk to us about what do you think about a program of such coming to our community? Is it important? Does it matter? Do we care? Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm Serena. I'm actually the 8th grade counselor at Long Middle School.
Yes.
And I guess one of my questions would be, when you say community training, meaning also in the schools?
The only school district under this grant is the Arlington School District.
Okay.
What I mean when I say community, we have gone out to different sites. So we have rec centers, we have the Dallas Housing Authority site, we have a church. You know, it's not easy, first of all, to go into a location and say, we have a great program. Will you open up your facility free and, you know, for 8 weeks and allow us to come in and facilitate this program to the youth and to the community? So when I say out to the community, those are some of the sites. We have how many sites? 12 sites, 3 site facilitators, 3 curriculum facilitators. Again, I'm one. Ms. Yolanda McCall is the site coordinator, which means she's going out and check it out. Because, you know, anytime you're under a grant, you got to cross every T, dot every I, and when you under a governmental grant, you got to make sure it's bolded, the crossing and the dotting. So,
Okay. I think it's a great program. Last year I was in the classroom and I had a student who, we were doing poetry, just a little background, and I looked at her poem and she was talking about this guy. And so I just kind of merely whispered in her ear, sex doesn't mean he loves you. Her mom has 7 children. Her sister was in the 9th grade and had a baby over Christmas break. When she came back to me from Christmas break, she was pregnant. Broke my heart. I made 7th grade, and maybe I probably should have had more dialogue with it, but I was very careful on how I approached the situation being in the district. And so after talking to her, she had to go to Maya Angelou, and she's back with us now. Now I'm her counselor. But I feel like if there was a resource for me to send her to, on top of the fact that she's being African American, there is no resource right now that I know of as a counselor for us to send our rural to say, this is not okay. You know, she saw mom have 7 kids and have all these luxuries, and then see sister in 9th grade have this baby. This baby maybe the only thing that really loves her in life. And so it was hard for me to swallow. But I wish maybe there was something I probably could have sent her to.
I agree. I agree because in my district we have a grocery that everyone takes, and it's a 50 grocery. But what got in there is juvenile. So what can we do to stop juveniles before they get to a program about girl empowerment? And I wish we had more bilingual moms, or more of the bilingual, so that these moms from Mexico know that the programs out there for their girls. It's because in that culture, it's like get pregnant, get married, don't matter how old it is, get out.
Right.
yeah, and one of the 2 things I want to say, and then everybody continue to dialogue here, with this particular FAT program, if a young lady came to us with that concern or with that question, we are working with referral agencies.
Okay.
So we're partnering with, I think there are about 12 different categories. So those categories may be I'm on drugs or domestic abuse. What else, Yolanda? I mean, teen pregnancy.
Depression, mental health, counseling,
MTE.
Okay, so there are 12 partnering agencies that have agreed to, work with Skillful Living under this grant that says you can refer that situation to us. Now, I think, and I hear that all the time, and I know it to be true, there's so many programs out there, there are so many agencies out there, but we don't always know how to get the word out there. We don't know how to always collaborate, you know, to make things happen. So that's a very good point. And we know also that it is culture many times. So how we break the cycle is not just the Hispanic culture. I see young, particularly our young Hispanics, our young African Americans, that's what they see. It's generation after generation after generation, and they think it's okay. Is it okay? You know, that's where we have to at least empower them with tools that they can use to help make the decision.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
So this program is an 8-week program,
Yes.
and so after the program, what are some other accountability reinforcement type, I guess, programs that are going to be in place to continue that learning? Yeah. I would recommend maybe an accountability buddy between, I guess, for the girl to have. So when she has those tough decisions that she has to make, she has that accountability part she can turn to, and it doesn't always have to be an adult. It can be that girl's same age group, so she can, you know, reinforce, you know, hey girl, we have this pledge that we've taken. Let's work together to accomplish our ultimate goal. So she can have that positive reinforcement. A lot of the times, a teen could feel more comfortable going to someone with a secret or something to that nature of their same age group that they look upon as a leader. And versus coming to an adult, so they can have that constant reinforcement and that accountability partner.
Absolutely, a very good point. And just a quick snapshot of what those 8 weeks look like. There's a curriculum, you know, words on paper, textbook, videos. So there's a curriculum piece, and so for example, there are 16 youth in a room. There's a curriculum facilitator. There are 4 volunteers that are helping with that program. And so if, you know, I like to give you're a young person in the back, or whomever, it may be easier for a young person to talk to her. So if I see, you know, a group, I'm going to kind of corral them together and say, okay, this group, you're over here for this session or for 30 minutes, and just kind of split them up. So I think it's upon us to be able to see when those types of things are happening, when that situation is happening, so that they will open up. But the curriculum is really great about taking you through questions, queuing up questions, giving you answers, giving you tools, and then on another day we have what we call service learning. So that's the opportunity to look at, so you got your curriculum on day 1, and then every other day maybe we're doing service learning. Service learning is about what can I see in my community that needs to be needs to be improved or changed. And again, we talked about youth-driven. We want those youth to be out there coming up with ideas that says, this is what I can do to change my community. What, you know, in fact, young people right now, tell me one thing that you can see in your community that needs to be changed, that you think that you could actually be a part of changing that.
One thing that I noticed about the young girls is that they did not know what it felt like to be treated good.
Right.
And toward the end, we asked them, why don't we take you to a very nice restaurant, not that, not easy, you know, somewhere where you've never been, where you think you can go, and, you know, they make the choices, and we watch them, and see, we would say, this is how you should be treated, you know, when someone tells you you're pretty, doesn't mean that you're gonna drop your head.
Right.
thank you. Mwah. That's what we try to like convey to them.
Right. Who influenced the decision, about the sex for teens? Who influenced those decisions the most? Music. Music? Television, what else? Who influenced
Other youth?
either to have sex or not to have sex? Parents, family, peers.
I think it's media. I think it's really media. The average teen watches about 7 hours, 30 hours a week of television. That's more time that, I mean, they don't spend that much time with their family. And most parents that work full-time jobs and then have to come home and take care of the household, the television is their entertainment, it's their parents almost sometimes, so.
And with the internet,
And
bigger than
internet.
that, that's it. From his parents on, those two parents, not me, and our parents.